freaking cool shirt.
Yep, it is.
I love the color. The red.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
I'm not normally a fan of like the giant emblems, but I was like, you know what? Screw it, I'm buying it.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing a Sutton's Reunion shirt.
I was going to ask about that because I saw the SUTTO and I was like, wait, what?
But it's the only yellow shirt I own, so I had
I
to
wasn't
wearing
any yellow or anything like that.
I was like, I got nothing yellow. I was like, oh well, fuck it, I'll wear their family reunion shirt.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I have nothing yellow. I also don't like yellow as a color, really.
No. So, I mean, Dick Tracy for someone who doesn't like yellow is probably pretty bad.
No, I mean,
I even brought a fedora.
Oh, look at this guy.
Look at this.
This is, I don't know if this is a long time coming. I think this is one of those ones where it just kind of happened and it was like, sure, I guess we'll celebrate the, 20th anniversary or 30th. No, 20th anniversary.
30th.
30th.
Yeah.
That's right. 30th anniversary of Dick Tracy. I threw it out there. It's kind of like, well, I mean, it's, yeah. And you were like, yeah, let's do it. And then I was like, oh.
I was just throwing out anniversaries and you were like, what about Dick?
Yeah, I don't know if I said what about Dick. I think I said Dick Tracy. Although I was actually kind of surprised at the dick jokes that they made in this movie.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot. There was just a couple of smatterings of them real quickly. And I remember because I watched it today and I was like, oh, okay. All right. Like, it's just one of those movies where it's like, it was marketed for kids, but there's enough in there that I'm like, it's actually a little bit heavier, or not so much heavier, but this is a little bit more adult than they want you to think.
I mean,
that scene where Breathless Mahoney, is that what her last name? Yeah, Mahoney was like all decked out in that black lingerie. She had to keep her tits covered because there wasn't anything blocking her tits. Like, her nipples would have been shown.
Yeah.
If she didn't have the fucking bottle here, the glass here. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. But anyway, so what we're talking about is Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
30 years. Continuing our anniversary episodes here.
That's right. That's right.
So.
Well, like you said, it was released in 1990.
Yeah, June 15th, 1990.
Yeah.
They were hoping. Disney was really hoping for another Batman. They wanted the success of Tim Burton's Batman with this.
Yeah, I know. I read that, and it almost seemed like, I'll get to this in just a quick second, but like, yeah, so they thought, like, it made money, but not as much money as they would have liked, which I understand, because I think in total, like, yeah, the budget was only $47 million. But they spent probably another $53 million in marketing.
Yeah, lots of marketing.
Marketing, toys, T-shirts.
Because I mean, it's like
T-shirts were awesome, though. I'll say that.
Oh yeah,
T-shirts were awesome.
It was all awesome. We all had toys and T-shirts. I mean, I hadn't seen the movie, but Dick Tracy was everywhere. The pictures, all the images they did, the marketing images were insanely cool. Like all those classically art drawn images, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like cool. It was everywhere in 1990.
Yeah, it's just crazy that they would think that Dick Tracy, a property that was big in the 50s.
Yeah.
And that was about it. Was going to be this huge smash success. Like, it was just really, really weird. And it's funny how much they really tried to copy Batman.
Yep.
Like, in the aesthetic, not so much for obvious reasons, but the tone of the movie, even some of the plot points is very similar to Batman. I mean, hell, you just boil it down to the main plot, and it's a lone guy fighting grotesque villains to save a city and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it's like,
That's pretty much it.
oh, okay, all right. I forgot that Warren Beatty directed this too.
Yeah.
And then when I did some digging, I didn't realize how near and dear Dick Tracy is to Warren, or was to Warren Beatty. Because like even up until like 2008, he was talking about a sequel.
Yeah, it was a huge passion project.
Like he was still pushing for a sequel, and it's funny, like because you're saying like Disney was like, we're gonna get Batman numbers, and I forgot I was gonna get the Batman numbers just to show the disparity, but like again, we touched upon this previously, like with like when we brought up the Phantom and like movies
Shadow.
like that. Yeah, the Shadow, where
Shadow, like Rocketeer. I mean, there was a whole stretch of them there in the early 90s.
Yeah, where like it was all these like old properties that for some reason studios thought was going to be like a smash success, you know?
Yeah, and it's kind of funny that like Dick Tracy kicked them off. Wow, only 2.
Yeah, well, give it time. It's been a pretty rough day for sinuses.
Like Dick Tracy kicked these off really, right? 1990, because I think Rocketeer was 91.
No. Batman kicked it off. Watch your fucking mouth.
Okay, no, Batman for superheroes, but I'm talking like those retro characters that no one really had heard of.
Yeah. Was Rocketeer a retro character? I thought it was just Disney's take on a retro character.
No, Rocketeer's from like the 50s or whatever too.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah. So they tried with Dick Tracy.
And then they did Rocketeer like a year later.
And that bombed horribly.
Yeah, and then you had like Universal doing The Shadow like a year after that, and Paramount did Phantom a year after that.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, The Shadow was pretty good. For what it was actually pretty good. The Phantom was garbage. Absolute garbage.
I don't even remember those movies. You know, I think if I watched them now, I would look at them in a different light. But as a kid back then, like these weird, obscure characters, like I really, really didn't give a shit about them, right? Like I was like, where's the next Batman? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Or where's like Superman? Or why can't we see Spider-Man? Stuff like that. I wasn't, you know, and I mean, obviously for these properties, like we're talking like 50, 60 years prior, they were in their heyday. But like, I am kind of surprised though that even though this didn't make like big, huge, fat money, it still made a profit. Yep. And then you had like Warren Beatty really like pushing for a sequel, like he really wanted to do this. They even actually went so far as to get like a screenplay together, or not a screenplay, like a treatment for a sequel.
Okay.
And like it seemed like Disney was actively pushing for them not to. Like this was tied up in court cases for like almost a decade, because Beatty kept like saying, "Let's do this," and they were like, "Nope." And it turns out like he was contractually like in the clear to do a sequel. It was so tied up in the court cases, it took forever. I think if they tried it now, I don't think it would do so well.
Yeah. There was that little window when these kind of movies were doing well in like the late 2000s, kind of, you know, like Sin City. That did good.
Yeah.
Sky Captain wasn't really a huge success, but it was critically, like a lot of people loved it.
Yeah, and that was one of those where that was a really, really good movie.
I love Sky Captain. I wanted that director.
I could see why it didn't do as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's obscure, right? But like, I watched that, I was like, damn, I would love this director to do like a classic Superman movie like this. Can you imagine like a 1930s Superman movie looking like that?
Oh my God, I'd be like, fucking right.
Be amazing. So yeah, like there was that little window when those movies were semi-successful, but now they're pretty much not doing that great again. The Sin City sequel was a huge tank. I mean, I think
I've never even watched it actually. I have not watched the second 300, and I have not watched A Dame to Kill For.
Yeah,
because I sat through the Spirit, so I'm good. I'm absolutely good. I don't need any more Frank Miller shit in my life now.
I should have just left the second Sin City after watching The Spirit. I should be like, no, No, I'm done on the Frank Miller train, but
And that's why. So I watched The Spirit, and I don't even know why I watched The Spirit all the way through. Like, I actually can't believe that I finished that fucking movie because it was so painful.
it's a
Like,
bad movie.
Oh, it's so bad. Like, it's bad when Samuel L. Jackson is literally just like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Awesome. And then does exactly that. Like, I guarantee you there was no, like, okay, Sam, in this scene, you got to act like this or like this. It was just like, you read the script, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Roll them. Oh, notification.
Yeah. I cannot figure out how to turn the do not disturb on my Mac. So like when my
I thought you did it last time.
Yeah, I know, but I couldn't get it off after, and now that I got it off, I don't know how to turn it back on again.
Oh, so hey, maybe you're at that age now where you have to write down the steps you took, and then just keep that in a safe place.
Yeah. And he's talking to Megan and me. So Megan's gonna start texting him. Now I'm gonna get a whole bunch of alerts popping up.
Oh no. Oh no. All right, so going through the cast. This cast is fucking huge, first of all.
This is a ginormous cast. Like this is bigger than the Batman.
This budget is like, I mean, obviously some of these guys, even though they take top dollar, like James Caan was in this movie for 2 minutes. There's no way he's getting paid like, they're probably getting paid like the minimum SAG requirements for some of these cases.
Yeah.
But like okay, so hold on. Just off the top, what I felt like writing down 14. 14. And that's like, for some reason I wrote down Catherine O'Hara. But I didn't write James Caan.
Oh, yeah, I got Caan. I got the Caan. I wrote down 14 though. I wrote a bunch and then I was just like, and more. Because there's so many people in this.
Yeah, mine is actually similar where I actually have it like in parentheses star-studded. Because it's nuts because like you've got Warren Beatty as Dick Tracy. You've got Glenn Headley as Tess Trueheart.
Yep.
Charlie Corsimo as Kid. You'll remember him from Can't Hardly Wait.
Which was like, that's his last movie.
Yeah.
I was like, this kid looks familiar. And I looked it up. I was like, oh, that guy. Oh, wait, he did nothing after Can't Hardly Wait.
Yeah, no, he did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, just disappeared.
I wrote this one down just because like you recognize him, but I love the name. Seymour Castle as Sam Ketchum. William Forsythe as Flat Top surprised the shit out of me.
Yep.
Because that guy, he's been in a bajillion movies, but he's almost always played a fucking dirtbag or a psycho or something.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just rewatched The Substitute the other night, and he's in that movie. And he plays like a fucking psycho. He's a mercenary, so he does help the hero out, but he's crazy. Yeah. What else do I got? Oh, yeah, I got Madonna as Breathless Mahoney.
Yep.
Mandy Patinkin as 88 Keys. Paul Sorvino, surprised the shit out of me. I forgot about that one, as Lips Manless. Robert Costanzo. I don't know why I wrote down that one. Robert Costanzo as Lips' bodyguard because he's in there for 30 seconds.
Lips' bodyguard.
But I think it's because it's Robert Costanzo and you see him and you're like, that guy.
Yeah, we'll mention him.
Generic Italian guy in almost every movie. Okay, all right. And then we start getting into some of the heavyweights. Like I wrote down Kathy Bates because she's on the cast list. Yeah. She's in there for 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't even recognize her. Barely recognized her.
John in a Flash.
But then, of course, you got Al Pacino as Big Boy, Dustin Hoffman as Mumbles, and then Dick Van Dyke as D.A. Fletcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy cast.
Yeah. Right out of the gates, though, I actually I love how colorful this movie is. I also really like that was an intentional thing that that Warren Beatty did. He wanted it to look like this. So not only was it a period piece set in the mythical 1950s, but he made a point of having them colored like that. And I was like, man, that's actually really cool.
I loved it. It was like pop art coming to life. It was so cool.
Mm-hmm. And then like in the scenes at night, You've got a bit of that sort of neo-noir Gotham look to it.
Yep.
With a bit of the later Schumacher neon light stuff. But when you see a yellow fucking breasted dude climbing up a building, you're immediately like, you can't miss him.
Yeah.
So it just stands right out. But I also like, it's not just Dick Tracy, it's everybody. Everybody's got a specific bright color. Like, what's his name? Big Boy. He always was decked out. Even the kid. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I keeping you up?
Nope.
Are you sure? Because
it
looked like
day, man. It was a long day. I'm holding in the yawns. I'm holding them in.
Never mind. Last week I was full on yawning. So
yeah, it was.
So how dare I? How dare I give you a hard time?
Oh, it's that freaking humidity. It's just knocking me out.
Of course.
Now.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Yeah. Well, also, yeah, you're very boring. No, okay.
Of course, naturally. Like Tess Trueheart is like decked out almost primarily in reds, and the kid too.
She's another one of those actresses that I absolutely love from that time. That when I see her,
just in general,
like, Glenn Headley, I love that. Like,
yeah,
I don't think she's around anymore. If she is, I don't see her or anything.
Yeah, if she is, it might be in small bit parts here and there. Yeah. I mean, who knows? But yeah, she's just one of those ones where I see her and I go, oh yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Like even just the chemistry with her and the kid, like right away, where I was like, oh, like this is so good. That's one of the things I actually have is it's the chemistry between Tess, kid, and Dick is just so good.
Yeah.
The chemistry in general across the board is really good, but those three in particular,
that trio there together are just perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Although, funnily enough, I actually have this as a note. When I was a kid, I wanted that walkie-talkie watch.
Oh, yeah.
But now that I live in an age where I could have one, I don't want one.
No.
It's so weird. Like, out of all the tech things that I grew up with watching in sci-fi and stuff like that, that now that I'd be able to just,
yeah,
I don't want to do it.
I don't want.
I mean, the only real appeal for me would be the alerts. So instead of my phone, I could just go like this. Oh, it's not important, right?
Yeah.
That seems to be the only thing, but I also don't want to spend like $300 on a watch that I can't change the faces of to various superheroes. So otherwise, what's the point?
This is like Warren Beatty got the guys that wrote Top Gun and Turner Hooch to write this.
Also, Anaconda and Anacondas.
And yes, also those.
And Flintstone Viva Las Rock Vegas.
Right. So their careers turned around greatly after Dick Tracy.
Actually, it's pretty much, Jim Cash just did those 4 or 5 movies that we just talked about.
Yeah, that was it.
And then Jack Epps Jr. did like a couple of other ones. He did a couple before this and then like 1 or 2 after, but nothing of merit. I was like, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
These were the big ones. And then
I was just like, oh, wow, coming off 2 good movies. And then you see what they go to. Like the crappy Flintstone sequel, not even the original one.
Hold on. You are glossing over. You've done this intentionally, I feel. Anaconda and Anacondas. Okay, those are worse movies than Viva Rock Vegas.
Okay.
I'll gladly watch Viva Rock Vegas. And I did not like Viva Rock Vegas, but if I had a choice, Anaconda, Viva Rock Vegas. I'm watching Viva Rock Vegas.
Seriously, man? Isn't that the one where Stephen Baldwin is Barney Rubble?
That was actually the original Flintstones because it was John Goodman as Fred Flintstone and Stephen Baldwin as Barney Rubble. In Viva Rock Vegas,
no, it was Rick Moranis with John Goodman.
Oh, then you're right. Yes, it is Stephen Baldwin. That's right, because they're younger. That's right. But either way, I would watch. Remember, I like Biodome. Remember, that's one of my favorite movies.
Yes.
Who's in Biodome? Stephen Baldwin.
Stephen Baldwin.
So I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that.
I haven't watched that movie in years. Have you seen that lately?
Which
Biodome?
one?
Have you watched it? I can't remember.
I watched it about 10 years ago.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Man, I really just want to go back and revisit all those movies I grew up with.
Do it. I dare you.
I'm going to do it.
No, you're not. Mister, I don't have any time. I have like no time at all. When I have time, I spend 2 hours beating a game.
I don't have time. No time. It's okay.
Anyway.
Anyway, yes. Tangent be gone. What do you want to talk about now?
Oh, well, actually, I gotta say, like, this movie, it seemed like everyone had a lot of fun making this movie.
It did.
It's very evident that they're really getting into this, like, because I mean, you could sit there and say, like, oh, like Batman, it's a ridiculous movie, but you can't look at Dick Tracy and say that this is any less ridiculous. In fact, I would argue that it's more ridiculous because you have characters like Prune Face and Flat Top, and they're literally prune faces and flat tops. Okay, you know, like even like Big Boy, they didn't have to put the hunchback on him. They could have. They didn't need to do that, but they did. Mumbles.
Did you read that Al Pacino designed the way he looked in the movie?
That does not surprise me at all. That literally does not surprise me at all.
Al Pacino designed his own, reimagining the character from the comic appearance. Yeah, it was just he drew it out, and then the prosthetics guys made it happen.
That doesn't surprise me, but that's like that actually adds to my point. Like I feel like they just kind of were like, "This is going to be a lot of fun."
Yeah,
But yeah, that was one of the biggest thing was the makeup for these characters. Like in some cases, you only see a few of them for like half a second, but still, like it's really, really good shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I actually have a point where I go, it's crazy that Disney expected Batman numbers out of Dick Tracy. Like it is crazy. It's absolutely crazy that they sat there and they said like, okay, so Batman has almost always had a comic book, has almost always been on TV or in movies or in serializations in some way, shape, or form continuously since the beginning. So it's like, what, 1941 to 1989, you've got some form of Batman out there, right?
Yep.
You don't have that with Dick Tracy. You don't even have like a tie-in cartoon, which would have made sense if they had a tie-in cartoon.
Yeah.
Or a cartoon that led into the movie, something to that effect, right? Because then at least it makes the cartoon or the toy line a little bit more viable.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
But yeah, like I was just like, I forgot the Dick Tracy that I had. He actually came with a yellow cloth coat, but I lost it.
Was it cloth?
It was cloth.
It was cloth, and then you took it off, and he had like the white shirt with the black vest, right?
That's exactly it. So the toy that I officially ended up having was the white shirt with the black vest, his red tie, yellow hat. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, like, well, what else do I got? Like, I mean, how much fun are they having in this movie when like Al Pacino is dancing and singing in this fucking suit?
That was
and he's
such a funny
giving her.
He's
not just like kind of doing it. He's in it.
Oh, he is in it. And he's got to be sweating with all that stuff on.
Like, oh, yeah, I was sweating for him. I was like, ugh, gross. Gross.
It's such a weird role for him.
It's actually a weird role for most of these people.
It is, yeah, but like Al Pacino.
Warren Beatty's is the least weird, but yeah, Al Pacino's is out there. Dustin Hoffman is Mumbles. That's another one.
That's a weird one too.
That's a super weird one. But my gut tells me it was just literally like Warren Beatty called up his buddies and was like, "Hey, you guys want to make $1 million? Because we're gonna make $1 bajillion with Dick Tracy." And because they're all of the same age, they probably grew up with Dick Tracy, and they were like, "Yep, let's do it. Let's do it." So.
Yep. Oh, yeah. It's so funny they brought Danny Elfman on because of Batman. Because they wanted it to have that Batman feel to it. Like like what I read, Warren Beatty was so impressed with his score from Batman, he immediately hired him for Dick Tracy.
Well, you know what, and for good reason, because like Danny Elfman did a really good job with the score.
Yeah,
and then Elfman really good score.
And then Elfman says Warren was absolutely insane. He was insane to work for.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I I didn't hear that, but that's intriguing. That's very intriguing.
I feel like this was fun for the cast, but I could see Warren being a little nuts with when it comes to the crew.
Well, I mean, this is a guy that literally fought them in courts for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Like almost 20 years of him fighting in courts just so that he could get the okay to do a sequel. And then now that he has it, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Let's make it happen.
Good for you, I guess. Like, you won, but do you see the amount of money that Disney is cleaning house with right now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to continue. Their Avengers Endgame was their bubble point.
It was.
Yeah, we'll still get superhero movies because it's right now and very ingrained in the culture of movies. But I will be very amazed if, well, I mean, aside from say Black Panther 2, Spider-Man 3, and even Spider-Man 3 will depend too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we'll get another $1 billion superhero movie.
Billion, I think, yes. Billion we will. But
okay, but like who?
There will never be anything as big as Endgame. Like that was nearing the 3 billion mark. It was a 2.6 or something it ended at? 2.7?
I thought it was like 301.
Did it go over 3?
I thought it went over 3. Can you check actually? Because I'm using my phone.
Yeah. I'm gonna check.
But like anyway, like aside from Spider-Man 3, Black Panther 2, I don't see really anything else doing $1 billion.
2.798. So 2.8.
Wow. Okay. All right.
And that's insane. I mean,
that's absolutely crazy.
Black Panther will make a bill easily. Spidey probably will too. Yeah. Captain Marvel, the first one did, so chances are the second one.
But that's the thing. I don't know about Captain Marvel 2, and this isn't like anything against Brie Larson or anything like that. Although she's still getting fucking hate for this shit. And it's like, are you guys for real? Let it go. Just let it go.
Let it go. It's done. It's done. I mean, I would have said that Wonder Woman 1984 had a chance at a bill, but with it opening this year now, not a chance.
Nope.
There's going to be so many people not going to the theater still.
No, it's like even Tenet with Christopher Nolan.
Still coming out at the end of July.
He's pushing for it to be in the theater, and I'm like, yeah, I want to see that movie in the theater too because it looks fucking crazy awesome.
Yeah.
However, I'm not going to the theater in July. Like that's just it. Unless there's a plastic barricade around each seat, and you actually have to open it up, close it, lock it, sanitize it. Then maybe I'll go to the theater that soon.
Yeah, well, that won't be happening.
But yeah, so
I would maybe like the third week, maybe like on a morning, like a Sunday morning or something when it's quiet, you know, or like or like a late Thursday night when there's going to be maybe 10 people in the theater and that's about it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Where like it's not so much social distancing; it's just nobody's there.
Because you're going to walk in, and you're going to see where everyone's sitting, and you're just not going to go near them, right?
Yeah, that's true. I can get behind that.
Fucking asshole sit right beside you. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you know how many times I say that when I'm out in public now? Like, are you kidding me? You almost brushed my arm walking by me. You couldn't go in this area here. You had to get in my space.
Area. Frick. People, man. People. Come on.
Soundtrack is awesome. I got that.
Yeah, soundtrack was great. The prosthetics, though, the makeup. I don't know, like the whole aesthetic of it. Like how did they do it? It wouldn't have been CG at the time. I doubt it'd be. Well, probably just plain old animation, right? Like Roger Rabbit style, Cool World, those kind.
What are you talking about?
The whole aesthetic of the movie. That like the bright colors and everything. That almost Sin City look that it had.
I feel like there was some green screen work.
You think at that time? Oh, I don't know.
They were doing green screening Ghostbusters, and that was late 80s.
Yeah, but it had more of an animation look to it because like CG was pretty obvious still back in
I
the
don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see any animation.
No, but like the way they
Yeah.
did the buildings, I feel like it was just like somebody took a paint brush and went over like the actual image.
Oh, that's entirely possible. Okay, I get
Yeah.
it. Like low level CGI. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. That's
like
entirely possible. That would
classic
explain why a lot of
animation
the stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Now I understand what
You
you're
know,
saying.
kind of like how they did Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, now I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Overlapping. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
over.
I got you. Well, actually, to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me because this is set piece stuff, right? So I
Yeah.
feel like they made the sets. They
Right.
didn't. They didn't film a lot on location.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, please.
Yeah, no problem.
My dog. My dog thought he saw a squirrel or something.
And he was wrong.
Well, now he's not really listening.
Come on, James. Stop texting. Camcast. God.
Lay down. Good boy. Thank you. Well, it's hard to say. Like we may have a groundhog problem.
Oh, we're under
Like our neighbors specifically have it. Like they actually found the hole in everything.
Okay.
We don't have any holes that I can see in our yard, although I have to go under the deck to double check. But a couple of weeks ago, I looked and I didn't see anything. So it might be our either neighbor, like the one on my left now. It might be in his shed, and then just burrowed underneath. But we'll see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so getting back to this movie, I actually remembered quite a bit since I watched it. Madonna really surprised me in this movie in terms of her acting ability. She was actually pretty good in this movie.
She was very good.
What I did forget was how absolutely gorgeous she was in this movie. And I know it's a weird thing to say, but like, it's been a really long time that I've looked at Madonna and was like, yeah, wow. This movie, I definitely was like, holy shit, like, you are gorgeous. And she like was really good. Like I remember watching a bit of was it Swept Away? And I couldn't do it because it was just a shitty movie.
Oh
And
yeah, I totally forgot about that movie. The one she directed.
yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But then again, she was also what's her face? Eva? Yeah, she was Eva. That biopic.
Oh.
Don't cry for me, Argentina. Evita, that's the one. Yeah.
With Banderas, right? He was in
That's
there.
right. That's right.
Antonio
That's right.
Banderas. Yeah.
But yeah, she was really good. In fact, she was actually the standout for me because everyone else in this movie, aside from the kid, were all established actors. Like they're all really good actors already.
Yeah.
So for her to be like being able to stand with them was really good.
Yeah. 100%.
The when do we eat sequence is hilarious.
There's a lot of like, yeah, you know, Warren Beatty and that kid, yeah, they had really good chemistry.
Really good chemistry.
Like when he's tied up in that basement and the kid's trying to save him.
Yeah.
Like,
that was a great scene. That was actually a really cool scene.
It's a really great scene.
One of my favorite scenes, though, is like when he gets the certification to be a deputy detective.
Yeah.
And it's just the kid until he picks his name. And he picks Dick Tracy Jr. and he gives it to him. He's like, is that okay? And he's staring at it like, yeah, it's totally fine. You know? That was really cute. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Overall, though, like the story itself, like it moves at a very quick pace. But the one thing that really struck me was this is pretty much like a standard mob movie.
Yeah, it is.
You know, like, I mean, yeah, it does borrow elements from Batman in the sense in some of the stuff, specifically the end sequence when they were in that tower.
Yep.
I got huge
I got huge Batman vibes from that too.
I mean, granted, I love that the fact that like Big Boy kept saying like he was quoting philosophers and stuff, and he was just kind of like basically saying like, look, I mean, I don't want to have to kill you, but I will kill you, but I don't want to have to. Okay. And then he's like trying to make it seem like it's her fault for being in this mess to begin with. And I was just like, this is just really funny. Like, it was a funny little sequence. But overall, like, it was just a really fun movie. Although the Tommy gun scene was great. When Dick Tracy just holds it out and just starts spraying all the cars and stuff, I was like, oh, okay.
That whole sequence was really cool.
That whole end sequence, like, even though that very last bit does borrow from Batman, enough for me to be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I did really like the whole thing when he lets loose. He's chasing down Big Boy. Finally, like, corners him, and then No Face shows up.
Yeah, No Face.
The only thing that I thought was really dumb, though, was when they were doing that. When Big Boy finds out that they're bugged, right?
Yeah.
And he starts like directing Tracy to other things. There's this scene where they're covering a guy in concrete.
Right.
And then
Okay.
Tracy distracts him, but then decides he's going to climb in on the concrete, like to get covered in concrete, just to pull like a gun on them, and it doesn't fire. And I was like, that's so dumb. It's so dumb for him to do that, because like even if you did get them, you're covered in concrete.
Yeah, for a smart detective, that was a pretty dumb move.
Yeah, but other than that, like, I mean, it was just a really fun movie. For 145 minutes.
Yeah.
Just didn't really stay too long, but did what it needed to do, I guess you could say.
Yeah. I got strangely feels like both a product of its time as well as ahead of its time.
Actually, yeah, that's a very good point. It did kind of feel like, you're right, like when you said it earlier about in that 2000s to 2005 would probably have been the best time to pull this movie out.
Yeah, 100%. But it's still like it feels aged. It looks great, but it feels like an older movie now when you watch it.
But is that because it was also kind of set in the 1950s?
You know what? It's probably just something as simple as I know those actors are old now, and to see them young, it just feels, well, this is old.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. It's probably just
something as simple as that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like you said, looking at Madonna and going, whew, this is an old movie.
Yeah, that's right. That's actually really, okay, that makes sense.
Very, very weird though to see a movie, and I know this is because they're basing it right off of the comic book. They're staying very dedicated to the pages, but there's not a single colored actor in this entire movie, which feels strange.
I think that's because also there might have been depictions of black characters, but they were so stereotypical
back then
that it would almost be safer for them not to do the character.
Right.
Because like I want to say, I think the Shadow is one that has, well, actually, if we go back, you can find stereotypically racist depictions of characters throughout all of comic books.
Easily.
But it's either that or there was no persons of color or whatever the phrase is in those strips at all. And we're also dealing with early like 1990s Hollywood, because like I did read one of the reviews for this movie was that like it was essentially like they were trying to do the same as Batman, but at the same time being just essentially like another Hollywood movie. Like there was really nothing, because if you really think about it, if you take out the aesthetic of it,
Yeah,
and then it might as well be like a junior mob movie for kids.
pretty much.
Like
Pretty much.
it's
It's the look of the movie is most of what makes it so special.
That's right. Exactly.
Like you said, it would just be a PG rated mob movie if all that was removed.
Yeah, exactly. But then again, then it wouldn't have. I don't even think it would have made any money.
No, it's that cool look. I mean, that was something, especially in 1990, you didn't really see anywhere. I mean, so
No,
like,
exactly.
I don't remember seeing this trailer as a kid, but I imagine that if I was this age now and I saw that trailer during those days, I'd be like fucking blown away. It's why I got excited for Sky Captain: The World of Tomorrow when it came out, because I was just like, holy shit, that looks like nothing I've really ever seen. You know?
Yeah, exactly. But I also think it's tied into the generational thing, because like when you heard of Spider-Man getting its own movie, we'd been hearing about it for so long
Yeah.
that we were like, yeah, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. But then to see the first trailer, that's it. Like,
Oh yeah.
I could have died without even seeing the movie, just seeing the trailer of him swinging around New York. And
Yep.
they're not even really showing full scenes of him, because like I remember seeing that trailer, the 9/11 trailer.
That was the first one, yeah, the 9/11
Yeah.
where the
So I remember seeing the 9/11 trailer and just being like, "Whoa!" Sorry, but the Twin Towers
Twin
trailer.
Towers trailer, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just blown away. I was like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!"
The helicopter stuck in the web in between the two towers. Yeah.
So I mean, I can understand. So like, yeah, if we were kids at that point, that would be part of the reason why we went and saw Dick Tracy, would be because we grew up with Dick Tracy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I feel you're right. That 2000s to 2005 window would have been the best time.
Yep.
It's a shame that I think it was 2006 or 2008 that he actually won the court case finally. Because he did this thing with Leonard Maltin where there was a Dick Tracy special, and Warren Beatty, as Dick Tracy, answered questions. So, like, at one point, Leonard Maltin asks him about a sequel, and he goes, well, it's up to Warren Beatty about that, or something along those lines. And I was like, that's crazy. So I feel like it's just one of those things where he was a fan and he wanted to do it. And now I don't think he will. I don't think he can do it now, really. Like, the only way I feel like you would do it now would be like, and I hate to say this, but like you'd almost have to be a little bit more of a gritty, like street level type of take on this character.
It wouldn't work today. Maybe as like an animated movie,
Yeah, it's a really tough call, because like basically what we're talking about is a cop, essentially.
Yeah. Just a cop.
And especially right now, a cop movie would not work. I have a hard time believing a cop movie or any sort of different take on a cop show would do really well right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird world out there right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, not all cops are bad. It's just a shame that the bad ones are such fucking pieces of shit. It's kind of.
I'm not even gonna continue with this. I don't want to, because it's like there's so much.
Touchy. I know it's touchy. I'm just saying, like,
it's not even the touchy thing. It's just I don't want this to turn into one of those, because like I also have my similar thoughts and stuff like that. But I'm also, it's easy to say this stuff, like, because like part of me says, okay, well, you could have a police force of 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
If 20 of those cops are bad, the other 80 know about it and don't do anything about it. Is that still only 20 bad cops? See what I mean?
Oh, well,
I don't even want to.
That's the thing, though. If they're knowing about it, that's a whole different.
So I don't want to.
That's a whole different ballgame.
needless to say, while I enjoyed Dick Tracy, that'll be one of those movies where if I'm flipping channels and it shows up and there's nothing else on, I might. Or I might just watch it till I find something else. So, like, it was a lot of fun, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm going to go out of my way to see it.
I feel like if I had grown up with this and loved it as a kid and watched it all the time, I would still have a passion for it.
Yeah.
But that's not me. I watched it. I was like, wow, this is a gorgeous movie. It's fun. If I never see it again, that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. It was also like, it was just, like I watched it and I was like, okay, it's about as good as I remember. One of the things that always struck me was the scene where they play back Mumbles' dialogue to him. I've never forgot that, and it's always stuck with you. Where finally, it's just like, big boy did it. Big boy did it. You're like, that is so funny. That's so funny. But it's even cooler that even Dick Tracy just kind of sat on that. Yeah. And then towards the end of the movie, finally, it's just like, okay, Mumbles, here's the deal. Check this out. Ah, shit. And then Mumbles starts talking for real like normal. I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah. Great cast. Fun movie.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, real quick about Dick Van Dyke. I forgot he was in this movie and then immediately wasn't surprised that he was crooked. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot all about him being in this movie. And then halfway through the movie, you're like, oh, well, of course he's bad. I mean, if James Caan got blown up, then naturally Dick Van Dyke is going to be also bad.
Yeah. Naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
That's all I gotta say about
thoughts on Dick Tracy.
You've been waiting for that one all day. I could tell.
It's just it's fun wordplay, you know.
That's like low hanging fruit, just like testicles.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks.
So that's it. That's all I got to say about Dick Tracy.
That's all I got to say. Happy 30th anniversary, Dick Tracy.
Yes.
We're on a roll with these anniversary episodes. What we got up next, Chris?
I believe that it is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
Check. One of the greatest, I don't necessarily want to say horror movies, but one of the more scarier movies.
Mm-hmm. Check on that one.
Yep. Screw it. I'll just say it. It's fucking Jaws, man.
Fucking
Jaws.
Gonna celebrate 45 years of Jaws.
45 years of Jaws. And if it wasn't for Jaws, we would never have gotten seminal classic Deep Blue Sea.
Deepest, bluest.
What is it? My hand is like a shark's fin?
My head is like my hat. My
hat is like a shark's fin. That's right.
My hat is like a shark's fin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Regardless. So I'm excited to do Jaws. That's that is one of my favorite movies, but that's one of those ones where I actually will space it out when I watch it. Like, it's not one of the ones that I can watch all the time, even though it's one of my favorites. I don't know. I feel I like to watch it, but I can't watch it all the time. I don't know why, but it's great. It's so good.
It's definitely one of my favorites, but I'm the same way. It's got to be probably once every 5 years or so I'll watch it.
Yeah, exactly. But I think part of it is I watched it a lot when I was younger.
Yeah, because you had way bigger balls than me when you were younger.
I still do, bro. Still do.
You do.
But I also watched. I actually watched almost all of them. I watched the second one.
Yeah.
I watched 3D, but not in 3D.
Yeah, I've watched them all. 3D has Dennis Quaid at an underwater aquarium.
Yes. I remember that one because the Jaws in that movie. And isn't Dennis Quaid like the son?
The son grown up. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the son grown up. So Dennis Quaid, and this is another shark. It's not the same family of sharks.
No, Devon Shark.
But the ending is when he's got like the oxygen tank in its mouth.
Yeah.
And he fires at that and it blows up. And I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then the fourth one,
the Revenge,
is the Revenge. That's the one where it's the same. It's the family of family member of the previous shark.
It's the wife. It's the wife from the original movie.
Right, but the shark follows her.
Yeah.
Across the world.
Yeah.
It gets on a plane and follows her.
Yeah, that's the one.
Because but like, what was the relation to that shark to the previous sharks? Was that also a family member? Like, it was the kid of one of the sharks that was killed.
Mario Van Peebles in it too.
Solo.
You
talking about Solo?
Oh man, the end of that movie, one of the funniest ends I've ever seen in my life.
That actually, believe it or not, I have not seen that one.
No?
I know enough about it, but I haven't seen it.
Okay, check this out. She's on a boat with a pointy front end. They electrocute the water. The shark comes out, does like a tail walk like a dolphin towards the spike, and kills itself on the spike.
It too did not want to be in this movie.
I could watch that movie over and over again for that end. So funny.
It's funny that you say that, like, certain scenes, but like, that's how I could watch Jason X, but only for that Camp Crystal scene, or the Crystal Lake scene.
I love that Crystal Lake scene. Bashing that woman around inside the sleeping bag.
Every noise is like sex noises. Like, it's so funny. It's so ridiculously funny. Oh,
good times.
What's after Jaws?
What's after Jaws? I don't know. We got a nice lineup. We got to decide which order we want to put them in. We got the Riddick trilogy, the Blade.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Riddick trilogy, Blade trilogy, Total Recall, and then I think we're pretty caught up on what we had planned, and then we're getting damn close to 100. Ooh.
We got to start doing our Halloween stuff too.
Yeah. Yes. We got lots of scary stuff planned.
I don't know about scary.
Well, we're going to talk about scary stuff. Maybe I'll wear a fedora again to make it extra scary.
I didn't freeze. I just didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, son of a bitch. Yeah. I'm done talking about it. You can speak.
Okay. All right. You know what? I did the outro last time.
Right. You can find us at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, right here on YouTube. If you want to listen to us, we're on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also check us out at geekpantsmedia.com. I'm Ken.
I'm
right
Chris.
There, right there in that little screen.
Well, for now, but
yeah,
it'll be side by side.
It will be. Or I'll just blow it up.
Okay.
I'm talking my ass now.
Yeah, I'm not even sure why.
Yeah.
This is happening.
He just gave up on me, man. All right, everyone.
Hold on.
Oh.
A couple of deaths have come our way in the entertainment world.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah. Ian Holm.
Ian Holm,
rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Ian Holm, yes.
Joel Schmacher.
Yep.
Just found that out a couple hours ago.
Yep.
So rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you both for the memories.
Yes. Made lots of great entertainment for us. Some not so great, and sadly, Joel Schumacher will be mostly remembered for the not so great, which is sad because he's done so many good movies. He made The Lost Boys. I mean,
that alone is
that should just trump all Batman nipples.
Yeah, but the best part is that like everybody acts. This is the thing about the internet now. So when a director would do a movie like this,
mm-hmm.
we know now that it's primarily studio influenced.
Yes.
Because like Warner Brothers said, hey, look, that stuff that Tim Burton did was insane. We want to market this for children. So could you do something that's like a mix of that and the TV show? And then we got Batman Forever and Batman Returns. Or Batman and Robin, sorry.
Yeah. Batman Forever I enjoy. I will forever enjoy Batman Forever. Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin's that's a rough one. That's a really, really rough one.
I watched it again 3 years ago, and I was like, that will be my final time.
I will not watch that again unless it's for a Camcast. But then again, that's also Batman Forever. I'm in the same boat. I'm done watching that movie.
Fuck, someone's going to pick Batman and Robin for 100 now.
It's better. Like, honestly, it's better than Batman and Robin. Yeah. It's just... It's hard. And especially, like I said, like, knowing now that it was basically Warner Brothers saying, this is what we got to do, Joel. And Joel did what, the best he could with what he had.
Yep.
But you're right. Like, for him to be known as Bat Nipples, it's like, come on. Like, at least let him be known as the guy who did 8mm.
Oh. Oh. I still have never watched that again since the time we watched it.
I'm in the same boat. I've never watched it since, even though I've been told that now that, like, we're older, we'd actually be able to.
I feel like I could probably stomach it better now, but like, wow.
Well, yeah, because
that was disturbing.
That was a hard one to watch.
Yeah.
That was a real hard one to watch. Yeah. And it's funny because I finished that movie, but I never finished Freddy Got Fingered. Like, what?
Yeah.
I remember.
How did you never finish Freddy Got Fingered?
I can't remember why I've ever.
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausage? Also, rest in peace, Rip Torn.
It was the baby swinging scene. That's what got me.
Oh, yeah. There's some pretty disgusting stuff.
I was like, you know what? Now, I bet you now I'll watch it and I'll be like, you know what? It's actually pretty good. Because it's Tom Green in a movie. Like, what the fuck did they think was going to happen? But then again, I think if it wasn't for Tom Green, we probably wouldn't see things like, Sacha Baron Cohen's entire lineup.
Exactly. Yeah. Definitely someone influential, whether you think of them or not that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, Geek Pantsers.
All right.
That is it.